Look around you. Everywhere you turn, whether you're in the heart of a bustling city or a quiet suburb, you're surrounded by the products of human ingenuity and ambition. The world we've built is a testament to our drive to connect, create, and reach ever higher. The buildings that scrape the sky, the bridges that span rivers and valleys, and the cars that zip along highways, they all share a hidden foundation: steel. It's the silent force holding up our cities and shaping our daily lives. Steel is the backbone of our civilization, strong, versatile, and everywhere. From the skeletons of skyscrapers to the rails of trains, from kitchen appliances to surgical tools, steel is woven into the very fabric of modern life. Without it, our world would look very different. But there's a problem, a big one. The way we make steel is incredibly harmful to the planet. Behind the gleaming facades and sturdy structures lies a process that's anything but clean. For over a century, we've relied on a process that starts with iron ore and uses coal in giant blast furnaces. These furnaces burn day and night, transforming raw materials into the steel we depend on, but at a steep environmental cost. Burning all that coal releases massive amounts of carbon dioxide, almost 2 tons for every ton of steel produced. That's a staggering figure when you consider the scale of global steel production. The iron and steel industry is responsible for about 8% of global CO2 emissions, making it one of the biggest industrial polluters on the planet. That's more than the emissions from all the world's cars combined. So the very material that builds our world is also helping to warm it, fueling climate change and its dangerous effects. Melting glaciers, rising sea levels, wildfires, and extreme weather events are all linked to the greenhouse gases we release, including those from steelmaking. And our demand for steel is only growing. As countries develop, populations rise, and new infrastructure projects break ground, the need for steel continues to soar. From new roads and bridges to hospitals and schools, steel is at the heart of progress. This puts us in a tough spot. We need steel to build the future, but we also need to stop polluting the planet we all share. Engineers, architects, and policymakers are grappling with this dilemma every day. How do we keep building the future without destroying the planet? Is it possible to have both progress and sustainability, or must we choose one over the other? It seems like an impossible puzzle, a challenge with no easy answers. The stakes are high and the clock is ticking. But what if there was a way to make steel without all the pollution? Imagine a world where the steel that supports our lives is made cleanly, without sacrificing the environment. Scientists and engineers are on the verge of solving this problem. Around the world, teams are racing to develop new technologies, like hydrogen-powered furnaces and carbon capture systems that could revolutionize steelmaking. This is where the story gets exciting. The race to reinvent steel is on, and the outcome could change the world as we know it, ushering in a new era of clean industry, sustainable growth, and hope for the future. The answer to our steel problem? It's called green iron, a revolutionary approach that's transforming one of the world's most polluting industries. For decades, steel production has been synonymous with billowing smokestacks, rivers of molten metal, and the unmistakable haze of industrial pollution. But now, a cleaner, greener sibling is stepping into the spotlight. Green iron is produced without using fossil fuels at all. Instead, it relies on renewable energy sources like wind, solar, and hydropower to drive the process. This green iron becomes the essential building block for what's known as green steel, a material that's identical in strength and versatility to traditional steel, but with a fraction of the environmental impact. The steel itself doesn't change. It's just as tough, just as reliable, and just as vital for everything from skyscrapers to cars. What's different is the way it's made. The entire process has been reimagined from the ground up, focusing on sustainability and efficiency. The biggest change? No more coal. For centuries, coal has been the backbone of steelmaking, fueling the intense heat needed to extract iron from ore. In the old method, coal not only provided heat but also acted as a chemical agent to separate iron from its ore. Unfortunately, this process released massive amounts of carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas that contributes to climate change and air pollution. Green iron production eliminates coal entirely. Instead, it uses hydrogen, produced from renewable energy, to extract iron. This innovative process avoids greenhouse gases almost completely, making it a game changer for the industry. Imagine a factory that makes iron but emits only water vapor, no thick smoke, no toxic fumes. The only byproduct is pure water, which simply evaporates into the air. By swapping dirty fuels for clean, renewable alternatives, we have the power to transform the steel industry's environmental footprint. This shift not only reduces emissions but also creates new opportunities for clean energy jobs and innovation. For centuries, pollution was seen as the unavoidable price of progress. Cities grew around steel mills, and generations lived with the consequences: smog, health problems, and environmental damage. Green iron proves that progress doesn't have to come at the expense of the planet. It's a powerful example of how technology and innovation can rewrite the rules. This isn't science fiction, it's happening right now. Around the world, pioneering companies are already producing green iron and green steel at commercial scale. Governments and industry leaders are investing billions to build new clean iron facilities. These projects are creating jobs, boosting local economies, and setting new standards for responsible manufacturing. Green iron is ushering in a new era, one where progress and responsibility go hand in hand. It's a future where we can build, grow, and innovate without sacrificing the health of our planet or our communities. So, how do we make iron without coal? For centuries, coal has been at the heart of steelmaking, fueling the furnaces that turn iron ore into the metal that builds our world. But as we face the urgent challenge of climate change, the search for cleaner alternatives has never been more important. The secret is hydrogen, the universe's most abundant element. Hydrogen is a tiny, colorless gas, but it holds enormous potential to revolutionize heavy industry. When harnessed correctly, it can replace the dirty processes of the past with something far cleaner. But it has to be green hydrogen, made with renewable electricity. This means using wind, solar, or hydropower to split water into hydrogen and oxygen, ensuring the process itself is free from fossil fuels and emissions. Traditionally, coal's carbon pulls oxygen from iron ore, creating CO2. This reaction is the main reason steelmaking is one of the world's largest sources of industrial greenhouse gases, releasing billions of tons of carbon dioxide every year. In the green process, hydrogen does the job instead. It acts as a clean substitute for coal, setting off a chemical reaction that's far less polluting. This is called direct hydrogen reduction. It's a breakthrough method that's gaining momentum in the steel industry as companies look for ways to cut their carbon footprint. Iron ore pellets go into a special reactor, and hot hydrogen gas flows through them. The temperature and pressure are carefully controlled to maximize efficiency and ensure the reaction goes smoothly. The hydrogen grabs the oxygen from the ore, leaving behind pure iron. This process is remarkably efficient, producing high-quality iron that's ready for the next stage of steelmaking. The only byproduct? Water vapor. Instead of clouds of smoke and greenhouse gases, the reaction releases only steam, which simply dissipates into the air. No CO2, just clean water. This is a dramatic shift from the old way, and it's a game changer for the environment. The result is sponge iron, a porous form of pure iron, ready to become steel. This material can be melted down and alloyed to create everything from skyscrapers to cars. Some plants have used natural gas for this, but pure hydrogen makes it truly green. Natural gas still emits some CO2, while hydrogen, when made renewably, is completely clean. Using green hydrogen and renewable electricity, the process is nearly emission-free. This means steel can be made without contributing to global warming, paving the way for a sustainable future. It's a simple, elegant solution to a massive problem. By rethinking the chemistry of steelmaking, we can cut emissions and protect the planet. Hydrogen, powered by clean energy, is transforming one of the world's dirtiest industries. This innovation could help decarbonize not just steel, but other heavy industries as well. Science is working for the planet. With every breakthrough, we move closer to a world where industry and nature can thrive side by side. Once we have sponge iron, it's time to turn it into steel. Instead of old polluting furnaces, we use electric arc furnaces, EAFs. EAFs use huge electric currents, like controlled lightning, to melt iron and scrap steel. If powered by renewable energy, this process is completely carbon-free. This is the second key to green steel hydrogen-reduced iron, melted with clean electricity. Together, these steps break steelmaking's link to fossil fuels. We replace coal's chemical and heating roles with hydrogen and clean power. The result? Steel with almost zero emissions. The green iron revolution is already underway. In Sweden, the HYBRIT project produced the world's first hydrogen-made steel, delivered to Volvo for a prototype vehicle. SSAB is converting its mills to this technology, aiming to be fossil-free by 2030. In Germany, companies like ThyssenKrupp and Salzgitter are building hydrogen-based plants. backed by government support. Australia, Canada, and the Middle East are joining in, using their renewable resources to make green iron. These aren't small experiments, they're the start of a global race. Green steel could reshape trade, energy, and manufacturing for decades. The regions that lead will reap huge economic rewards. Green iron and steel are crucial in the fight against climate change. The traditional steel industry emits nearly 3 billion tons of CO2 every year. Green iron could cut up to 95% of those emissions. Clean steel means cleaner cars, buildings, wind turbines, and more. This change decarbonizes entire supply chains. The transition also creates high-tech, clean jobs and revitalizes industrial communities. Countries that lead in green steel will have a major economic edge as demand for low-carbon products grows. It's not just about the environment, it's about prosperity and security. Green steel is an investment in a healthier planet and a stronger future. It's a win for the climate, the economy, and society. The revolution is already underway. The path to green steel isn't easy. Right now, making steel with green hydrogen costs more than using coal. Companies hesitate to invest without guaranteed demand, and customers worry about higher prices. Smart policies like carbon taxes, subsidies, and public contracts can help bridge the gap. The industry also needs massive amounts of green hydrogen and clean electricity. Building enough renewable energy and upgrading grids is a huge multi-trillion-dollar challenge. It will take decades, planning, and global cooperation. The technology is ready, but scaling up is the real test. Imagine a world where steel plants emit only water vapor, not smoke. Cities, cars, and infrastructure are built with clean steel that doesn't warm the planet. Building green steel requires more renewable energy, which in turn needs more steel, creating a powerful cycle of progress. This shift could inspire other industries to decarbonize, from cement to aviation. Countries rich in sun and wind could become new energy superpowers, exporting green hydrogen and iron. The global economy would be more resilient and sustainable. Clean steel is a symbol of pride, not pollution. It's a future where prosperity and environmental stewardship go hand in hand. From ancient iron tools to green steel, our story is one of innovation. Now we're building a future where progress doesn't mean pollution. The green iron revolution shows that a healthy planet and a strong economy can go together. By reinventing steel, we're investing in future generations and a stable climate. The challenge is huge, but so are the moon landing and mapping the human genome. Cleaning up steel is our generation's moonshot. Tomorrow's steel can be a symbol of our clean energy future. The green iron revolution is proof that we can solve our biggest challenges and build a truly sustainable world.